I'm Holden Douglas here at Crypto.com Arena where the Kings defeated the Jets 4-1. Winnipeg was the best team in the league, but Los Angeles brought it tonight. The defense and physicality was there. After the game, I got to interview some of the Kings players. Here's what they had to say.
Yeah, I mean, it just goes to show like our connection in the locker room. How I think all of us are truly tight with each other, but whether it's on the road or in the plane, I mean, each around the locker room, we're all pretty tight. So, yeah, I think that just carries over into the game. You can, I think for just knowing each other's background and just knowing about tendencies of it.
Yeah, especially when not lots of character on this team, and you know, we know we got that one in San Jose, weren't happy, and it was the perfect opportunity for us tonight, and let's all step up and play a good 60 minutes.
You know, all the goals tonight came from just kind of getting pucks right to the crease. Happy with how directly the team played the offensive zone.
Yeah, and by doing that, we had more possessions and we got a bit more scoring chance, and that presence is there tonight for all. So, a good overall game. So.
Well, you heard from some of the players, but that's not all. Hear what Coach Jim Hiller had to say.
Is the lesson learned from tonight that when you check for 60 minutes, you can beat any team?
I think so. I don't know if it's a lesson. I don't know what it is, but it's it's an example, maybe, of how good we can be. It's hard to be really good like that night after night. It's 82 games in a season, but it gives us an example of what is possible if we all play together a certain style of play.
Jim, I think you guys responded so well after both losses to San Jose. It's now outscored Vegas and Winnipeg 10-2. So what is it about after those losses that gets this team going in the right direction?
Well, I don't know if it's those specific losses in San Jose. We usually respond pretty well after a loss, just generally, I think. There's that point. That one, you know, the other night did not feel good for anybody. And so I think that may have had a little extra motivation for us tonight, the way that one went down in the third period. But I just think, for the most part, there's a lot of character, and we bounce back pretty well after losing a game, whether we play well or we don't.
Just for what it's worth, teams are 6-1 after losing to the Sharks.
Oh, is that right? Yeah. Sharks are a pretty solid team.
No,
just to let everybody know who
I mean, 11 one-goal losses.
For them?
Yeah.
No, they're a solid team. Yeah.
You guys limited Winnipeg to 2 shots on goal in the third period. That started from the 13-minute mark in the second period.
Right.
It was that low. What went so well for you guys from that standpoint?
I thought we checked really well, and the penalty kill was really good. That was opportunities for them. They have a terrific power play. So I thought that was a really important part of the game. And I just thought everybody was in sync. You know, everybody was pretty committed to taking the opportunity offensively when it was there and when it wasn't, putting it in. And I thought we were physical tonight too. And I thought we probably wore them down a little bit by the end. I think we put some miles on their defense. That was an important part of the game. So there's a lot of things that layer on top of each other to have a night where we shut them down like that.
Each of the goals came by getting pucks to the net, one form or another. Happy with kind of how directly you guys played in the offensive zone?
Yeah, I thought we had a chance for more, but you saw there was no hesitation a few times just to shoot it, and there was people in and around it. So, yeah, it was, and we get rewarded with a couple ones. It was a funny one. Kevin's was a funny one, but you know, we had some nice plays too that we didn't find the back of the net on.
This game, Winnipeg had the highest save percentage in the league. How was the offensive game plan executed against such a strong goaltending unit?
Yeah, we have to get in front of them. You have to have bodies there, and you saw, you know, a couple deflections. Phil's was a rebound off a secondary play, so, you know, he saved what he saw for the most part, and you know, we were good. We were around him.
Phil mentioned, you know, there was really just one line that was working these last few games, and to have a change with almost all the lines there, he responded really well, was open about that, and sometimes it's necessary. He was kind of saying that it is necessary to kind of stir things up and see a response. Did you like what you saw from all 4 lines tonight?
Yeah, from everybody. You know, Sammy Hellenius hardly played at all, but he was fine. It's a pretty good team, and you sit for a little bit, and you don't want to get him back out there. So he was fine too, in you know, relatively minimal minutes. But yeah, I think Phil makes a good point. Nobody likes change. We like our routine, and you know, we have some lines that have worked together for a while, but it just got to the point where it just needed to have a different look and have a different feel and a different approach for some different players.
Is that part of the whole uncomfortable philosophy? I mean, you talked about how it needs to be a little different this year, and the goals tonight, not necessarily pretty, but they were guys that went to the net and bounced off the goal. Guys need to maybe feel a little uncomfortable when you're going through this bit of
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think we did a good job of that part of the game earlier in the season. We talked about this, and then we haven't been that good offensively. We haven't forechecked and gone to the net near as well over the last 2 or 3 weeks maybe. So I thought we saw that tonight. Both the forecheck, it was physical. I thought Jeanot had the big hit on Lowry early just to start the game. 2 big men. And I thought that rattled the boards. I thought that set a bit of a tone for our team. We wanted to come out that way, and Gino set that tone.
Does the big win tonight change what you might want to do with the goaltenders for the next 2 games, in the sense that most NHL coaches don't like to change after a win, but you've had no hesitation doing it?
Right. No, it wouldn't have an effect. No, we'll talk about that, but it wouldn't have an effect. No.
I was going to say, given the opponent tonight and the circumstances surrounding your team coming into this one, are regular season wins special, or do you treat them all pretty equal?
No, you don't want to get too high or too low. Again, we were disappointed with the San Jose game, but we couldn't, you can't just feel like everybody sucks and we're a bad team and all that kind of stuff. There's just so many games that you just have to keep a relative even keel. But the important thing about tonight, not just the fact that they were, top of the league, was just how we did it, how we played, and what's possible when we all play together like that. That's the one that you take out of this game and you carry it with you. As that was more important.
When Danilo hits Byfield, and then Jeannot gets a matching liner, is that something that's acceptable given the way that hit was delivered on Byfield?
You know what? You're a little bit more forgiving on something like that. You'd like to go on the power play for sure, and you'd like to try to take a number maybe on that one. But sometimes it's emotions, and Gino, does that role. He takes care of his teammates, and that's a natural reaction for him. You know what I mean? So pretty hard to be mad at him, right?
How did the physicality, how did that let your team control the tempo of the game?
Well, I just thought maybe we wore their defensemen down a little bit. They've got some defensemen that really carry the puck, get up in the play, roll around in the offensive zone, and I just think as the game wore on, they might not have had or felt as comfortable or had as much, gas. When you get bumped into, it doesn't even mean big crashing hits, but you get bumped into and pushed, it's tiring. It's a physical game, and the body wears down as the game wears on.
And after dismantling the team with the best record in the league, how does the momentum grow from here?
Well, we'll see on, was it Friday, right? You don't know. You think that we have a template. This was a really strong game. We got to make sure we come out on the road with the same intensity and focus.
You haven't had any real long surges or slumps this year, but now you have kind of an opportunity, obviously, to build off that, as you mentioned. What are you looking for on Friday? Obviously, it's a little bit of an odd game coming out of a holiday, early start, and so forth.
The exact same thing. The exact same thing we saw tonight. And that's the standard. We're not going to do that for the next 59 games of the year. I know that, but that is the standard. That's what we expect.
From the outside looking in, the pattern seems to be playing down to the lesser teams and up to the better teams. Are you sensing that? Are you feeling that?
I mean, it's probably happened long enough that you say better teams that are lower in the standings. You know what I mean? I would say there's something to that. Yeah, we have to correct that.
So how much of a concern would that be then heading into Friday?
I don't know. I don't like use the word concern. It's an area that we have to address. Let's put it that way. And this whole thing would be really easy if we just as coaches said, hey, let this and then this, and it was all just fixed. But we're a bunch of humans playing a really, really hard game, with the puck that bounces all over the place. So it's just trying to do it as consistently as possible, as many players each night.
What do you say to Turk tonight after the couple penalties?
Well, I'll talk to him about it. The second one was really tough. First one, you just got to manage your stick, just like other guys. Yeah, I mean, the fact that he had to, I thought the second one was tough play. He's going for the puck. Coop goes through him and goes down. So.
Thanks, Jim.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, you heard from Coach Jim Hiller. The Kings will go up against the Ducks this Friday at Anaheim. The Kings, they'll look to replicate the performance they had against Winnipeg. I'm Holden Douglas, here from Crypto.com Arena from Infanity TV.